A very good morning, viewers. It's 6 a.m. and you're watching Quick Morning with me, Deepak Suresh Kumar. This is your one-stop destination for all the top stories from the length and breadth of the nation and also from across the world and different sectors like sports, business and entertainment. Sit back and relax as we get to the top stories. The Central Bureau of Investigation has now spoken out about the Karnataka MUDA scam. Karnataka Chief Minister faces fresh legal challenges in the MUDA scam after the RTI activist who originally complained in the case moved High Court seeking probe by CBI. This comes after the complaint alleged irregularities in the allotment of 14 plots to Siddaramaiah's wife Parvati. The complainant had earlier too moved a similar plea in High Court but was dismissed, ruling that there was no evidence to suggest bias or shoddy investigation by the Lokayukta. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said that his government may seek help from agencies like Interpol to probe the alleged interference of Pakistani national Ali Tawqir Sheikh in India's internal affairs. Sarma escalated his offensive against Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi, alleging that his British wife had links with Pakistani national and an organization tied to Pakistan's ISI. Sarma said that the investigation is still in its early stages and confirmed that he had already briefed Union Home Minister Amit Shah on the case's developments. After talks with Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann remained inconclusive, farmer group Samyukt Kisan Morcha announced of going ahead with its protests in Chandigarh from today. While accusing him of leaving the meeting midway, the farmer group blamed Mann for leaving them with no choice. The farmers have now been trying to seek a deal with the government over various demands, including MSP being the major one of them. Students at Jadavpur University have announced a sit-in protest today, demanding action on several key issues and issued an ultimatum to the Vice Chancellor to meet them by 4 p.m. today. The protest follows a series of events, including an attack on students by ABVP members, which the students' fronts have condemned. The students are calling for the arrest of Bratya Basu and legal action against others involved in the attack. They argue that the Vice Chancellor is accountable for the incidents that occurred under his leadership and called him for taking the responsibility of the matter. The BJP asked the Congress to clarify its government in Karnataka following due procedure and obtain financial approval of renovation of Chief Minister's official residence. This comes after reports suggest that reconstruction and beautification of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's residence was being carried out without the Finance Committee's approval. BJP Sudhanshu Trivedi said that it had no approval prior, and then the Congress in Karnataka was just attempting to bypass rules and laws, much like its old ally in Delhi, in a bid to replicate the infamous Sheesh Mahal experiment.
मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि आप कर्नाटक में आने के बाद अपने वायदों को तो पूरा नहीं कर पाए। आपने कर्नाटक में आने के बाद अपने तथाकथित वायदों के लिए दलित समाज को आवंटित योजनाओं में से पैसा निकाला और अब भ्रष्टाचार में आकंठ डूबते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। यह कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स एसोसिएशन की बातें इसका प्रमाण है।
A 25-year-old woman employed as a software engineer took the extreme step due to her husband's alleged harassment in Hyderabad. The woman and her husband got married in Goa 6 months back with their family's consent. In her complaint, the woman's mother accused her son-in-law of pressurizing her daughter to transfer ownership of a house registered in her name to his name. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence arrested Kannada actor Ramya Rao from Bengaluru's Kempegowda International Airport with 14.8 kg of gold. Rao, who arrived in Bengaluru from Dubai, had been under DRI surveillance due to her frequent international travel. Officials said she managed to wear most of the gold inconspicuously while also concealing gold bars within her clothing. The villagers of Hindu-majority Makni village in Raisen district of Madhya Pradesh have been left in a state of shock as the Waqf board has laid claim to their residential houses, agricultural fields, and even a shivling. The claim by the Waqf board has sparked outrage in the area. According to reports, the board claimed that the land in Makni village belonged to a graveyard. However, no substantial proof to support its claim has been provided by the board.
आ रही है, उनको नोटिस जो मिले हैं उसके संबंध में, जमीनों के संबंध में संबंधित तहसीलदार अपने रिकॉर्ड से ही चीजों को देख पाएंगे। नहीं, अब उनकी जो परेशानी है ना, संबंधित तहसीलदार जांच करेंगे तभी ना रिजॉल्व कर पाएंगे।
Well, viewers, those were the top stories from across the nation. Now, let's tell you what's making the headlines in the world of business. According to a report by State Bank of India, the Reserve Bank of India may have to inject additional 1 lakh crore rupees into the banking system by March to maintain liquidity at an equilibrium level. The report also highlighted that the systemic liquidity remained tight with a deficit of approximately 1.6 lakh crore rupees as of the end of February. The banking system has been facing a severe liquidity crunch in the recent months, making it one of the worst liquidity shortages in over a decade. Several factors have contributed to this situation, including significant foreign portfolio investor outflows and the maturing of forward transactions over the next few months. According to the managing director of Godrej Industries, India has the potential to come up as a key hub for artificial intelligence solutions to the world, citing the country's success in domains such as technology and GCCs. He added that India's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047 would be fueled by progressive reforms, ease of doing business, empowerment through education, and the country's edge in new age technologies. Jio Financial has sought to acquire a stake in Jio Payments Bank for 104.5 crore rupees, which was previously owned by the State Bank of India. The proposal requires approval from RBI for completion and is expected to be finalized within 45 days after receiving RBI clearance. After the transaction, the Jio Payments Bank Limited will become a wholly owned subsidiary of Jio Financial Services, which currently holds 82.17% of the digital bank's shares. Fintech firm Paytm has launched a feature dedicated to trading transactions called UPI Trading Blocks. This feature aims to streamline the trading process for users by eliminating the need to manually add funds for trading through various apps. Instead, it simplifies the process by automatically deducting the required amount directly from the UPI app. When a transaction is executed, users will not have to enter a UPI PIN for the deduction. And since the funds remain in the user's bank account, they will continue to earn interest. Adani Green Energy Limited announced of successfully refinancing its maiden construction facility with outstanding of about 8,300 crore rupees to develop India's largest solar wind hybrid renewable cluster in Rajasthan. The announcement also highlighted that the long-term financing raised to refinance in its construction facility has a door-to-door tenure of 19 years with fully amortized debt structure emulating the underlying asset life. With this breakthrough, AGEL has successfully completed its capital management program for the underlying asset portfolio, which involves securing long-term facilities that are perfectly aligned with the cash flow life cycle of that portfolio. From Trump's Gaza plan to a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia, here are the top international stories that you need to watch out for. Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Saar reiterated that Israel is willing to negotiate on phase 2 of its ceasefire deal with Hamas or extend the actual phase if more hostages are released. Israel and Hamas struck a ceasefire deal in Gaza this January that involves exchanging hostages held by Hamas in Gaza for Palestinian prisoners held by Israel in stages with an aim to end the war.
We don't have an agreement on phase 2. We demand total demilitarization of Gaza Strip, Hamas and Islamic Jihad out, and give us our hostages If they agree to that, we can implement tomorrow. We will only have to then discuss the ratio for the terrorists that want to get out from our jails. Okay? It was not agreed in the agreement. It was left to be agreed on phase 2. There is no shelf agreement on phase 2. There's nothing in it. Okay, so this is the situation.
US Vice President J.D. Vance expressed optimism that a mineral deal with Ukraine can still be reached. US is trying to ink a mineral deal with Ukraine, and the nation has deposits about 22 out of 34 critical minerals, including rare earth minerals. The Trump-Zelensky tension over Ukraine war cast shadow over the future of the deal. President Volodymyr Zelensky has, however, said he is still ready to sign the mineral deal.
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think the president is still committed to the mineral deal. I think we've heard some positive things, but not yet, of course, the signature from our friends in Ukraine. But look, the mineral deal is a really important part of the president's policy. Number one,
China's top political advisory body, Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference National Committee, opened its annual session on Tuesday in Beijing. Chinese President Xi Jinping and other leaders attended the opening meeting of the third session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee, which commenced at the Great Hall of the People. Three steel lawmakers were injured after one of them, seriously was suffering grievous injuries following chaotic scenes in Serbia's parliament, during which smoke bombs and flares were thrown. The lawmakers were scheduled to vote on a law to increase funding for university education, but opposition parties insisted the session was illegal and should first confirm the resignation of Prime Minister Milos. Prime Minister Vucevic resigned this January following months-long anti-corruption protests. Arab leaders met in Cairo on Tuesday to endorse a counter-proposal to US President Donald Trump's call for the Gaza Strip to be depopulated and transformed into a beach destination. The US President has proposed that Gaza's roughly 2 million Palestinians be resettled in other countries. This summit was hosted by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. United Nations General Antonio Guterres supported Arab leaders' reconstruction plans for Gaza at a summit in Cairo on Tuesday. He said that UN will fully cooperate with the Arab leaders. He also stressed that any resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict must include a two-state solution before it is too late. The UN chief said the future independent Palestinian state should include the Gaza Strip.
I welcome and strongly endorse the Arab-led initiative to mobilize support for Gaza's reconstruction, clearly expressed in this summit. And the UN stands ready to fully cooperate in this endeavour. We recognise that reconstruction requires governance and security arrangements that can help guarantee a brighter, more stable future for Palestinians and Israelis alike.
UN has said that flour and vegetable prices have increased more than 100-fold in Gaza Strip as essential living materials await delivery following Israel's closure of the crossings into the war-torn enclave. Israel has blocked humanitarian aid from entering Gaza since early Sunday to put pressure on Hamas to accept Israel's proposal to extend the first phase of ceasefire and hostage deal.
Humanitarian partners tell us that following the closure of the crossings into Gaza yesterday, flour and vegetable prices increased more than 100-fold. Partners are currently assessing the stocks that are currently available within the Gaza Strip.
Donald Trump administration has designated Yemen's Houthi group as a foreign terrorist organization. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the move, stating it fulfills a promise made by President Donald Trump. After he took office, the Houthis have launched drone and missile attacks on Israel-linked cargo ships in the Red Sea in solidarity with the Gaza Strip, where more than 48,300 victims have been killed in Israel's attacks since October 7, 2023. Welcome back, viewers. Let's now take you through the latest coming in from the world of sports, followed by the top stories from the world of entertainment. India's chase master Virat Kohli top scored with 84 as India entered the finals of the Champions Trophy with a 4-wicket win over Australia. Batting first, Australia were bowled out for 264 in 49.3 overs and India chased it down with 11 balls to spare. Besides Kohli's 98-ball knock, Shreyas Iyer made 45 with KL Rahul and Hardik Pandya also chipping in with 42 and 28 respectively in the first semi-final clash. Star batter Virat Kohli made history by becoming India's leading run scorer in the Champions Trophy's history. Chasing 265 runs, the men in blue lost the wicket of Shubman Gill as the youngest departed. After scoring 8 runs soon after that, Captain Rohit Sharma walked back to the pavilion after scoring 28 runs of 29 deliveries. Since then, Shreyas Iyer and Kohli anchored the innings over the chase and stitched a valuable partnership of 91 runs. After completing 40 runs against Australia, Kohli became India's leading run scorer in the Champions Trophy's history. Shikhar Dhawan had held that particular title, but 8 years before Kohli surpassed him in the ongoing tournament. Overall, Chris Gayle is at the top of the list with 791 runs to his name, while Mahela Jayawardene stands second with 742. Rohit Sharma created a world record in the second innings as soon as he smashed the first 6 of his innings in the ongoing Champions Trophy in Dubai. He needed only one maximum to go past Chris Gayle in the list of players to hit most sixes in ICC ODI events, World Cup and also Champions Trophy. Rohit Sharma now has 65 sixes to his name in the 2 said mega events in 42 innings so far, amassing 2,148 runs with 8 centuries and half centuries to his name. The 37-year-old is known to take the attack to the opposition team in the power play overs in the 50-over format, and he did so yet again against Australia, smashing a 6 in only the second over of the innings. Indian skipper Rohit Sharma lost yet another toss in the semi-final of the ICC Champions Trophy against Australia in Dubai. Australia skipper Steve Smith opted to bat first as they made one change to their lineup with Cooper Connolly replacing Matt Short. Meanwhile, Rohit lost the toss for the 11th consecutive time. The streak that began way back in November 2023 during the World Cup in India. This is the joint second longest streak as he equaled Netherlands' Peter Boren, who had also lost 11 consecutive tosses from March 2011 to August 2013. Rohit is now close to Brian Lara's world record in this aspect, who lost 12 consecutive tosses as the West Indies captain from October 1998 to May 1999. Virat Kohli etched his name in the record books after the first innings of the Champions Trophy 2025 semi-final against Australia. Both sides locked on at Dubai International Stadium, and the clash began with Australia coming in to bat first. It is worth noting that Virat Kohli took 2 catches in the first innings and saw him move past Ricky Ponting in the list of players with most catches as an outfielder in ODI cricket. Kohli taking 2 catches meant that he has now taken 161 catches in ODIs, which saw him move past Australia's great Ricky Ponting's tally of 160. Virat Kohli did not finish the chase for once, but his measured 84-run knock steered India into their 5th Champions Trophy final with a clinical 4-wicket win over an understrength and profligate Australian team in the first last 4 clash. The Indian triumph ensures that the final of the 8-team competition will now be held here in Dubai instead of Lahore, the original host of the marquee clash, as Rohit Sharma's men will not travel there owing to security concerns. Player of the match, Virat Kohli, was the fulcrum of Indian batting as they scaled down 265 in 48.1 overs. Rohit becomes the first captain to reach the finals of all ICC tournaments. The Mumbai-based player will now hold the distinction of leading India in World Test Championship 2023 final, Cricket World Cup final 2023, T20 World Cup final 2024 and now Champions Trophy 2025 final. Pakistan have announced ODI and T20I squads for their upcoming tour of New Zealand. After the Champions Trophy debacle, Pakistan have appointed Salman Ali Agha as their captain in the shortest format of the game, while Mohammad Rizwan remains the skipper in the 50-over format. Salman has also been named the vice captain of the ODI squad. Now viewers, let's get you the top stories from the world of entertainment. The famous Carnival of Rio is in full swing as it continued with more music, glam and glee. Rio Carnival, held every year, is considered the biggest celebration of carnival in the world, with 2 million people per day on the streets. Previously spread over 2 days with 6 samba schools per parade. The special group, as it is known now, extends over 3 days, featuring 4 schools each night. Carnival 2025 is held from February 28, 2025 to March 8 in Rio. Carl Dean, the husband of famous American actor and singer Dolly Parton, has passed away. He was 82, according to a statement provided by Parton's publicist. Dean died in Nashville, Tennessee. Don and Parton were married in 1966. The family has asked for respect and privacy. No cause of death was announced. Dean is survived by Parton and his 2 siblings, Sandra and Donnie. As the Oscars 2025 ceremony wound down, it was time for newly anointed Oscar winners and their guests to turn up at the Vanity Fair Oscar party. The Vanity Fair Oscar Party 2025 was a night of celebration for Hollywood stars, including Conan O'Brien, Chris Rock and Walton Goggins. White Lotus star Walton Goggins was also on hand to discuss his role that spurred many fan discussions.
Mike chose to photograph this man at this particular point in his life, right? He wasn't this a month ago. I mean, they don't live in a relationship that is constantly combative. They've been together for, 3 years, and they travel the world and they have a great time together. There's a deep, profound love there between Rick and Chelsea. And this just so happens to coincide with, something that he found out.
The famous fashion show by Dior was attended by eminent entertainment figures like Lily James, Kristen Milotti, and South Korean rapper and singer Mingyu. Inspired by Orlando, Virginia Woolf's time and gender traveling protagonist, the ready-to-wear collection spun historical silhouettes into a vision of fluid, ever-evolving femininity. Well, viewers, that's all we could pack for you in today's edition of Quick Morning. But stay tuned to Republic TV for all the latest on the other side of this break.